Ryan Garcia bows to KO Davis in 2 rounds, and Davis fires back by letting the world know he would rather handle shit with violence instead of speaking. Find out the latest and my take on what's developing with 2 of boxing's hottest promises. For this and much more boxing talk, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Stay tuned for more. Let's get right to it. Oscar claims the face of his promotional company, Ryan Garcia, is ready to face anyone. In fact, he has gone to boldly claim that the champions in the division, being Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, and Tank Davis, need Ryan more than he needs them. Oscar is so confident with Ryan's mass appeal and public influence that he believes they are sitting comfortably on the driver's seat. However, in the same breath, Oscar doesn't go full tilt and commit his fighter into a dangerous situation just yet. Strategically, he lets us know that before anything else happens, they would need to sit down and discuss the future with this young star. He went on to state the following: Ryan Garcia is obviously ready to face anyone without any doubt, so I have to sit down with Ryan and his team to figure out what's next. I want to make the best and the biggest fights possible for Ryan Garcia and for all of his fans, so we'll see what's next. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how a promoter sets up a safety net so his fighter could say what he needs to say, get that public interest going, but still be able to steer away from any dangerous fights for the time being. And although there's been numerous barbs and shots being fired between Ryan and Gervonta Davis, many in the sport doubt that that fight will come into fruition next, especially with how heavily Hearn is ready to push his weight around in an attempt to lock Ryan down in a fight against his own potential star in the making and Devin Haney. Although the general public is much more interested in a guaranteed shootout between Ryan and Davis, that fight might need to get iced for a minute while Ryan tests himself against Haney. The following was information about the potential Haney shift in direction Golden Boy might make. Link and source in the description box below for every article on the video. And it reads as follows: the chances of such a fight happening next are slim, talking about Ryan and Davis. Now back to the article. With a more realistic path existing in a potential title challenge of the WBC lightweight titleist Devin Haney, Saturday's bout functionally served as a title eliminator, with Haney's team, including Matchroom Boxing's head Eddie Hearn, ready to take the necessary steps to put such a fight in play. Chances are it won't have to come to such drastic measures. As reported by BoxingScene.com, the WBC is prepared to order the title fight, which Garcia and his team admittedly don't view as a first option, though a possible next step. Nevertheless, we could see a fight with Haney happen when that fight is ready, De La Hoya noted. Ryan is ready to face everyone in the lightweight division. He just proved that Saturday night. Those big fights are going to be on our terms, on the terms of Ryan Garcia. I don't mean that in a business way, no. Listen, whenever Garcia is ready, he wants these fights. Every champion out there needs Ryan Garcia, not the other way around. Now, if Devin Haney's fight gets made next, it doesn't stop the rest of the boxing world from resonating and echoing the same sentiments as the crowd in Dallas this past weekend when Ryan Garcia asked them who they wanted next, and Tank's name pierced through the air. Tank and Ryan are ready to blast each other out of the lightweight scene. Both eager young stars have even posted the fight's poster on their Instagram accounts and have made bold statements. Ryan claims the following on a TMZ Sports interview: I'm on a mission to knock out Gervonta Davis in 2 rounds. 2 rounds. Gervonta, if you do not take this next fight with me, you will not be remembered. Your legacy will forever be tainted. The money is there, everything's there, no excuses. To which Davis responded on Twitter, when have I ever been a bitch? You know who you talk to 10 minutes before your ring walk. The fight has already been made. Bold statements from the young fighters who are ready to shoot it out. Now, Tank also made it extremely clear that he would prefer to let his hands do the talking. Although I don't doubt Ryan's willingness to test himself against every other top name in the division, especially Gervonta, something tells me Oscar isn't ready to throw caution to the wind and risk having his potential superstar losing, especially after having lost Alvarez late last year. In closing, Luke Cool Hand Campbell had quite a mouthful to say after reviewing what the scorecards read by the time he was stopped. Unimpressed and extremely agitated with what he saw as unfair, he stated the following in a Boxing Scene article. Now I'm thinking, bloody hell, it was probably lose-lose for me anyhow, because if I had beaten him, which I would have never gotten a points decision anyhow, not with that scorecard, I would have had to knock him out to beat him. I wouldn't have got the credit that deserved. I would have just beaten an Instagram boxer, you know? In winning, I would have lost anyhow. I don't think there was a win-win in that for me whatsoever. Nonetheless, he finished off by admiring Ryan Garcia's offensive arsenal. We all know his left hook is the best shot. He was throwing it to my head and I was blocking it well. As he moved, I thought he was throwing it to the head, but whipped it and lifted up my rib cage. I stepped back and I couldn't get my breath. Could not get my breath. I don't know what to say myself. Couldn't grab my breath even after the count. After at least 60 seconds after the count, I was still struggling with my breath. That has never happened to me before, and that's one of the things that hurts me the most. In short, although disgruntled by the scorecards at the time of the stoppage, he did give it up to Ryan's legit left hook. Although the rumor has it that Ryan versus Davis could be next in May, some folks think that that date could extend till September. However, listening to Oscar, I don't see him sharing the same excitement and eagerness as Ryan, and could potentially look into using the excuse of a fanless stadium to provide enough legroom for his young fighter to continue developing, in hopes of a more complete Ryan to rise from the smoke of training and tune-ups in an attempt to ensure a win over Floyd's young pupil. Whatever the future brings, both young fighters are not backing down, and with all the dust they are kicking up between each other, they are almost forcing their promoters' hands into getting the contracts made and signed, and that's the way it should be. The promoters work for the fighters and not the other way around. Anyway, this is what I have going on for you guys. Let me know what you guys think about the fight. Do you think it's gonna get made? And if so, who do you think wins? Do you think Ryan Garcia has what it takes to sleep Tank Davis in 2? Or do you think Tank Davis is gonna silence Golden Boy Promotions and stagnate their young stars' growth? Let me know in the comment section below, and stay tuned for this and much more boxing talk. This is Shay at King Me Boxing Channel, signing out.